Mary in the Bible versus Maryam in the Quran. Same woman, different role. What if one of the most honored women in human history appears in both the Bible and the Quran, yet her role carries a very different meaning in each? Mary in the Bible and Maryam in the Quran are clearly the same woman, the mother of Jesus. She is respected in Christianity. She is deeply honored in Islam. But while both scriptures portray her with dignity, purity, and importance, they place her in very different theological roles. And those differences matter. Welcome to Scripture versus Scripture, where we explore sacred texts with curiosity, clarity, and respect. This video isn't here to attack anyone's faith. It's here to help you understand the similarities, the differences, and why those differences matter. Before looking at the differences, it helps to understand why Mary matters so much in both Christianity and Islam. She is not a minor figure. She stands at the center of one of the most important birth narratives in both scriptures. Her story touches on purity, obedience, divine calling, miracle, motherhood, and the identity of Jesus. So when we compare Mary in the Bible with Maryam in the Quran, we are not just comparing one woman. We are comparing two different ways of understanding holiness, revelation, and the role of Jesus himself. So let's begin with the Bible. In the Bible, Mary is introduced as a young woman chosen by God for a unique purpose. In the Gospel accounts, especially in Luke and Matthew, she is told that she will miraculously conceive and give birth to Jesus. This announcement is given by the angel Gabriel. Mary is troubled at first, but she responds with humility and faith. She accepts the role given to her, even though it will completely change her life. In the biblical account, Mary becomes the mother of Jesus, the Messiah. That alone makes her one of the most significant women in Christian scripture. She is associated with obedience, grace, and trust in God. She appears at key moments in the life of Jesus, at his birth, during his early life, and later at important moments in his ministry. In the Gospel of John, she is present at the wedding at Cana. In the crucifixion account, she is also present near the cross. Over time, especially within Catholic and Orthodox Christianity, Mary becomes far more than a historical figure in a birth story. She becomes a central figure of honor, devotion, and reflection. She is often seen as a model of faith, humility, and surrender to God's will. But in the Bible, Mary is still clearly human. She is blessed, chosen, and deeply honored, yet she is not divine. Her importance comes from her role in the life of Jesus and from her faithful response to God. So in summary, the Bible presents Mary as the chosen mother of Jesus, a woman of faith and obedience, honored because of her role in the Christian story of salvation. Now let's look at the Quran. In the Quran, Maryam holds an exceptionally high place. In fact, she is one of the most honored women in all of Islamic scripture. She is mentioned by name many times, and she is given a level of attention that is striking. One of the clearest signs of her importance is that an entire chapter of the Quran is named after her, Surah Maryam. In the Quranic account, Maryam is presented as pure, devout, and specially chosen by God. Her miraculous pregnancy is still central to the story, but the emphasis is slightly different. The focus is not only on the birth of Jesus, known in Islam as Isa, but also on Maryam herself as a sign of God's power and mercy. She is shown as pious, secluded, and deeply faithful. When the miraculous conception is announced, she is shocked and questions how this can happen. But the answer is clear. God creates as he wills. In the Quran, Maryam is not just important because she gives birth to Isa. She is also a model of purity, devotion, and trust in God under pressure. Her story carries dignity and spiritual depth. There is another important difference in emphasis. In Christianity, Mary's importance is closely connected to the identity of Jesus as Messiah and, in Christian belief, the Son of God. In Islam, Maryam's importance is connected to her righteousness and to the miraculous birth of a great prophet, but not a divine son. That changes the meaning of her role. So in summary, the Quran presents Maryam as one of the purest and most honored women in sacred history, chosen, protected, and remembered as a sign of God's power and mercy. Now let's bring the similarities and differences together. Both the Bible and the Quran honor Mary. Both present her as pure, chosen, and central to the miraculous birth of Jesus. Both show her as a woman of obedience, humility, and deep importance in sacred history. But the differences are just as important. In the Bible, Mary's role is deeply connected to Jesus as the Messiah, and in Christian belief, the Son of God. In the Quran, Maryam is deeply honored, but her story supports a very different understanding of Jesus, as a prophet and messenger, not divine. In the Bible, Mary becomes part of a larger story of incarnation and salvation. In the Quran, Maryam becomes a powerful sign of God's creative power, purity, and mercy. So while this is the same woman, she does not carry exactly the same role in both faiths. Conclusion: so is Mary in the Bible the same as Maryam in the Quran? Yes and no. She is the same historical figure at the center of a miraculous birth story. But her theological role is not the same. The Bible presents Mary as the mother of Jesus within the Christian story of salvation. The Quran presents Maryam as one of the purest women ever chosen by God, closely tied to the miraculous birth of Isa and honored for her devotion and righteousness. Same woman, different role. If you enjoy respectful comparisons like this, subscribe to Scripture versus Scripture. Comment below, what should we compare next? Moses, Noah's flood, or Satan in the Bible versus the Quran? Like the video if you want more episodes, and I'll see you in the next one.